Hello students, this is lesson 7 of chapter Motion, class 9 physics. In our previous lesson we have seen different types of graphs as distance time graph and velocity time graph, and we also study some special cases of these graphs. Now in this lesson we will study about equations of motion and also see the graphical derivation of these equations. So before starting the lesson, let us try to study this graph. Now as you see in this graph, time is represented along x-axis at an equal time interval of 2 seconds, and velocity is represented along y-axis at an equal interval of 2 meter per second. It means that we can say that this is a velocity time graph. So velocity time graph is that graph in which change of velocity with respect to time is studied. Also from this graph you can see that the object is initially not at rest because the graph is not starting from the point origin. The graph is starting from a point x which is lying on the y-axis. That is, we can say that the object has a initial velocity of 2 meter per second. Now let us try to find out slope of this graph, because we know that slope helps in determining the nature of the graph. So students, what we do in order to determine the slope of a graph? We just choose 2 points. Suppose we choose point A and our another point is point B. Now after choosing the point, what we do? We draw a line parallel to x-axis from the point A, as you see, and from the point B we draw a line parallel to y-axis. Now you see these two lines intersect at a point. Let us call this point as C. So you see that we have a triangle ABC. In this triangle ABC, we see that BC is perpendicular and AC is base, because this triangle is right angle triangle. Now, if we divide the perpendicular by base, then the value we get gives the slope of the graph. It means we can write slope is equals to BC upon AC. But actually BC represents how much the object's velocity is changed in going from point A to B, and AC represents the time taken for that change in velocity. So we can write BC upon AC is equals to change in velocity upon change in time. Now students, you know that velocity upon time is known as acceleration. So we can say that slope of a velocity time graph gives us acceleration. Now let us try to find out the value of this acceleration. So change in velocity can be written as value of velocity at the point B minus value of velocity at the point A. Now we see that velocity at the point B is 8 meter per second and velocity at the point A is 4 meter per second. So the change in velocity is 8 minus 4 meter per second. And change in time is the change in time corresponding to point B minus time corresponding to point A. That is, we can say 8, that is time corresponding to point B, minus 3 time corresponding to point A. Now it will be equal to 4 upon 5 meter per second square, which can be equal to 0.8 meter per second square. So we can say that acceleration of the object is 0.8 meter per second square. Now let us choose 2 more points to find again the slope of this graph. At this time we choose another point as point X and other point as point Z. Again we follow the same process. We draw a line parallel to x-axis from the point X, and then we draw a line parallel to y-axis from the point Z. Now you see these two lines intersect at a point. Let us say this point as M. Again we have a right angle triangle XMZ. So we can say that the perpendicular, that is ZM, when divided by the base XM gives us the slope. So we can write slope is equals to ZM upon XM. Now Zm is the change in velocity in order to going the object from point X to point Z, and xm is the corresponding time taken for the object for that particular change in velocity. So we can write Zm is equals to velocity at the point Z, that is 10, minus velocity at the point M, that is 2, and xm is equals to time corresponding to point Z, that is 10 seconds, minus time corresponding to point X, that is 0 second. So we have change in velocity 10 minus 2 meter per second, and change in time is 10 minus 0. Again we get 8 upon 10 meter per second square, which is equals to 0.8 meter per second square. So by seeing these two situations, we conclude that whenever we take 2 points on the graph, we get the same acceleration. So we can say that the object has a constant acceleration, or object is moving with constant acceleration. And whenever an object is moving with a constant acceleration, then there is a term called uniform accelerated motion. It means that from this graph we conclude that this is the velocity time graph of uniformly accelerated motion when the object has initially certain velocity. Second point, the slope of velocity time graph gives value of uniform acceleration. And the third point is, we know from our previous class that area under velocity time graph gives the magnitude of displacement or distance traveled. Now let us study equations of motion. So equations of motion are that equations which establish a relationship between the velocity of an object, acceleration of the object, and distance covered by it in a given time interval. There are three equations of motion. The first equation of motion is known as velocity time relation. So let an object start moving with an initial velocity u, and during its motion under a uniform acceleration of a, its final velocity becomes v after a time interval of t. Then velocity time relation is given as v is equals to u plus at, where v is the final velocity of the object, u is the initial velocity of the object, a is the uniform acceleration, and t is the time interval in which the object attained the final velocity. Now second equation of motion is also known as position time relation. So let an object is moving with a initial velocity of u, and under a uniform acceleration it covers a total distance of s, or we can say magnitude of displacement s. Then we have a relation given by s is equals to ut plus half at square, where s is the total distance or magnitude of displacement covered by the object in the time interval t, and a is the uniform acceleration. Now third equation of motion is also known as position velocity relation. So let an object start moving along a straight line under a constant acceleration a, such that its velocity changes from u to final velocity v in order to cover a distance s. Then this relation is given by v square is equals to u square plus 2as, where v is the final velocity of the object and u is the initial velocity of the object, a is the uniform acceleration, and s is the distance covered in order to change the velocity from u to v. Now we will see derivation of first equation of motion, that is velocity time relation. For that we have chosen a velocity time graph for uniformly accelerated motion, because we know that slope of velocity time graph gives us acceleration. Now let us see, in this graph you can see that the point A corresponds to initial velocity u, at a time 0 second, and point B corresponds to final velocity v after a time t, and this change from u to v occurs at a constant rate of acceleration small a. Now what we do? We draw a perpendicular line from the point B to the x-axis, which cuts the x-axis at the point C, and also a perpendicular line to the y-axis from the same point B, which cuts the y-axis at the point D. Again we draw a perpendicular from the point A, which cuts the line BC at a point G. Now we have the following graph. From this graph you can see that BC, magnitude of BC is equals to small v, and magnitude of AO is equals to GC, because these two are parallel line, and it is equals to U. Again we can write BG plus GC equals to BC, or from this we get the value of BG as V minus U. Now students, you know that acceleration is the change in velocity upon change in time. But from this velocity time graph, we can calculate the acceleration by slope. And for slope, we need a triangle. So let us choose the triangle ABG. In the triangle ABG, BG is the perpendicular and AG is the base. And we know that when perpendicular is divided by base, it gives us the value of slope for that graph. So we can write A is equals to change in velocity upon time taken, and which is equals to slope BG upon AG. Again AG is equals to OC, so it can be written as BG upon OC. So we have the formula for acceleration. Acceleration is equals to BG upon OC. Now putting the values, OC is equals to small t and BG is equals to V minus U in the earlier equation of acceleration as BG upon OC. We have acceleration is equals to V minus U upon t, or by cross multiplying we have AT is equals to V minus U, which can be rearranged as V is equals to U plus AT. This is our first equation of motion. Hence first equation of motion is proved with the help of velocity time graph of a uniformly accelerated motion. Now we have the second equation of motion, which is also known as position time relation. For its derivation we have taken the same graph as we use in first equation of motion. So let an object cover a distance s during a time interval t. As we know that area under the velocity time graph gives us the magnitude of displacement, or we can say the distance covered, because we have considered here the motion is along a straight line in a given direction. So distance and displacement both are equal. Now let us see the area. So we have to consider the area of rectangle OAGC plus area of triangle AGB. These two total area gives us the magnitude of displacement. So we can write distance travelled is equals to area of OABGC, which is again equals to area of rectangle OAGC plus area of triangle ABG. Now we know that area of rectangle OAGC is equals to OA into OC. So it can be written as OA into OC plus area of triangle ABG is equals to half base into height, that is half times of AG into GB. Now again we have the value of OA, which is equals to magnitude of initial velocity, that is U, and AG is equals to OC is equals to T. Again we can write GB is equals to BC minus GC, and we know that BC is equals to V and GC is equals to U. So GB can be written as V minus U. And from first equation of motion, we know that V minus U is equals to AT. It means we have GB is equals to AT. Now, distance traveled can be equal to, putting these values, OA into OC, that is U into T, plus half AG. AG's value is T into GB. GB value is AT. So after calculating, we get S is equals to UT plus half AT square. This is the required position time relation. Thank you, students. In our next lesson, we will see the derivation of third equation of motion and also uniform circular motion.